So I would like to ask you on that chapter.
Yeah.
For those who are incarcerated,
Yes.
how do they engage in the Lent
Yeah.
and participate in the practices of fasting and prayer?
Okay.
Are there any specific ways the church supports them
Mm-hmm.
in living out this season?
Oh yes. I work in prison as a prison chaplain, and at the moment I'm at the prison's headquarters, and I minister quite often to committee and other prisons within this Nairobi area, although I coordinate all the prisons within the country.
Wow.
Yes. And as you asked, the church in prison or the people in prison, it's like they have the church as it is here outside here. So whatever programs, whatever seasons, whatever activities we go through out here, the same happens within the prisons. You realize we have even moderators of the churches in prison.
Wow,
we have catechists, we have the choir, we have the church council in prison. Yes, and therefore during this Lenten season, they are also brought to speed with the activities, or they actually by themselves they are aware of it and they look forward to the Lenten season. And they kind of participate by intensifying prayers. So there are prayers that they get involved in. And as we mentioned, we have the Way of the Cross. Every Friday, they would also have their Way of the Cross in prison.
Oh.
Yes. Within the prison, the time is given, and they observe then the Way of the Cross. Also, fasting, you realize that these are people who do not have their own resources within the prison.
Yeah.
Even the food that they are fed with is not theirs. It belongs to the government.
Yeah.
And sometimes it may not be enough for them. And therefore, this fasting from food, we do not emphasize so much to them. Because you realize, or probably you may be aware that even when we are observing the Lenten season, there are people who are exempted from fasting. A case in point are children that are below the age of 7, people that are elderly, above the age of 60, 65 onwards, unless one wishes to make some sacrifices of food. They may do so, but they are exempted. Other people that are exempted are breastfeeding mothers or expectant mothers. Yeah. So there are people who are exempted. In this group, we could also add the prisoners. However, there are some prisoners that are very devoted by themselves, and they can decide to fast. I remember some years ago, there was a famine within the country. Quite a number of counties were suffering from the famine. And the prisoners themselves, that was in Naivasha, they said, well, we hear that there is famine out there, and we have food here within the prison. We want to fast from a meal. And they asked the prison authority to kind of take away their ration and give it to these people that were going through famine. And it happened to be the Lenten season. So you see, it can come from them. They can be creative, and they can also kind of wish to sacrifice by themselves. Again, as we said, the fasting can take different dynamic ways. Yeah, that apart from just the physical abstinence from food, the Lenten season is an opportunity that we always take, even within the prison, to encourage them that this is a time to forgive, to let go, is a time to love other people, is a moment for us to be reconciled with our God. And so we use that time to really make them come closer to God and to one another. And also to be kind, to be practically kind to others. You know, there may be some prisoners who may probably, because their family members visit them quite often, they may have some several pieces of soap or tissue paper or toothpaste and so forth, items like that. And there may be others who have nothing at all. So we encourage them that they can have the spirit of sharing. Yeah, share what you have. There is your friend who doesn't have even a piece of soap. You could, during this Lenten season, share with your friend. And therefore they live the spirit of Lent even while they are in prison. And the church kind of also supports them and encourages them to observe the Lenten season. You know, we have, apart from the way of the cross, as we said, they also practice the songs, the Lenten season songs. And also they participate in what we call the Lenten campaign. You know, there is that Lenten campaign booklet that has a theme for every Sunday. We make those books available for them, and we create a forum for them to kind of discuss, share the themes that are within the Lenten campaign booklets, and try to see the gaps that are there within our country, within our societies, and what we need to do. And so they're able also to share that and discuss and come up with resolutions of what actually requires to be done, because the booklet has that guideline of see, judge, and act.
Yeah.
So you are given a scenario, you see how it is, you judge according to the way you have seen that scenario. There could be a story that is given of what is happening within the country, and then after that you act. You ask to act. How will you act? What might you want to do to kind of change the situation as it is there? So we also plan also during this Lenten season in the prisons to invite even other people to come and talk to the incarcerated on various topics, probably like the love of God, like charity, also about prayer life, so that we engage them and we let them also get so much into the mood of the Lenten season. And they themselves, they are really very much in the front, observing all the things that we are called to do during the Lenten season.